going on, guys? It's Ben from Parker Baits and welcome back to another fishing video. Today you join me down somewhere very special and somewhere dearly close to my heart, and this is Dean's back garden. I call it the Lake of Dreams. It really is the Lake of Dreams. 40 pounders in your back garden. Can life get any better? That is all I'm going to say. But I'm here for the next 48 hours. I've been here for the last sort of, well, to be honest, I turned up late last night. I was stuck in traffic. It was a blooming nightmare to get here. So I sort of found a few spots quickly, flicked the rods out on them, and unexpectedly the middle rod bobbing, whack, hit the blank. This was just after eating my pizzas. Yeah, I had like these Chicago town pizzas. This was just after that. And like I said, with that, I've put them down, sort of cleaned up, and whack, the bobbins hit the blank. And I was playing this fish for about, I don't know, a couple of minutes. It stripped a little bit of line off me, and in the end it done me on the aerator. So I was like, oh no, absolutely gutted, but very unexpected. So that was that, and woke up this morning, had an egg roll. I had a triple egg whammy I did this morning. It was absolutely lovely, and that is basically where I'm up to in the video now. I am absolutely covered in spod mix at the moment. I'm absolutely covered because I've just put 3/4 of a bucket out on a spot that I know that has produced me fish in the past, and where I had the bite last night. Also, T's coming down this evening, Mr. 30 himself, and he's never fished this particular lake before. I spoke to Dean, and he sort of okayed it, if you like, and what we've done is he's coming down after he finishes work, coming down, and he'll be here this evening, and I'm sure I'll keep in the loop with exactly what's going on, what we're doing, how we're doing it, etc, etc. So that's it, that's where I am, that's what I'm doing, that's how long I'm here for, guys, and I cannot wait to get my teeth into the next 48 hours here and hopefully bring you guys on my journey. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Ben, and we normally upload, this is the Parker Brothers YouTube channel. We normally upload every Sunday 7:30. We do every Sunday 7:30. Now we have started uploading on a Wednesday as well, so you've got like how-tos on there, short little videos as well, and I'm just trying to do my best to bring you guys the best possible content I can. So there it is. Hopefully I can bring you a banger. Before I start this video, give us a thumbs up, make sure you comment down below, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. And I'm going to sit back now, lock onto the water, let that bait do its thing now, and I'm going to let it rest. I'm going to put 2 rods on that this evening, and I'm going to catch up with you in a bit. Right, wow, this is my view out of the bivvy, and the reason why I'm doing it in here is it's really windy out there and I don't want it to distort the noise. I've literally just put a bag of these out, OG fish 18 mils, and I got them out of the freezer yesterday, and what you'll find is a lot of our baits have deposits at the bottom where obviously it comes off of the bait. Now don't throw this away, guys, this is brilliant for putting in your little stick mixes, bottom of PVA bag, and obviously just throwing that last little bit in your particle mix or whatever. So there they are, and what I've done is throwing stick, and I've put a kilo of bait right against that island. I know there's a hole that sort of sits, or sort of where it's sort of, there's a bowl right at the, just to the right of it, and that's where I've sort of scattered them. But what I've done is I've done very different to my right hand rod, which I'll speak about in a second. I've actually pitted the bait over about 5 to 10 bivvies, so it really does get the fish sort of pecking around and sort of really proactively feeding, if you like. And then what I've done is my right hand rod, I'm going to put the 2 rods, I'm going to sort of put 2 eggs in one basket, if you like. That's one way of putting it across. You see the gap in the tree? I'm fishing just out here, sort of over here, so I'm going to fish locked up tonight, real tight clutches, so the fish can't pull any line. I'm fishing this side of the blue aerator there, and I've put out a load of 10 millis in the fruit and nut. I prepped these prior to coming, put a lot of time into them, soaked them in the sauce a couple of days, and I'll probably use about 4 or 5 bottles of sauce, which is a pure liquid food, the sauce, and that was the OG fruit and nut one, with the fruit and nut 10 millis, and then the magic dust, and then the Himalayan. You've got an absolute dream world there going on. So that's what I've done. I put 3/4 of a bucket out over there, and I'm going to fish 2 rods slightly tighter tonight, one on a spinner and one on a combi, and the one out here I'm going to fish on a combi. So I've sort of covered all bases. Yesterday, I will come out the bivvy now, and hopefully the wind noise doesn't affect what I'm doing. But look at this, guys. Get in the comments down below if that there wouldn't be a dream house. Look, lake, house. So last night I come round here, flick the deeper out. It's little nice little pretty lights that come on round there. You're really starting to mature up things now. It's starting to look beautiful. But really coming a beautiful lake to look at. But yeah, just there, them lilies, I was fishing just off the back of them, and I put 1.5 kilos of 14mm fish over it. Nothing, not a beep on that rod. I had to run from where I mentioned where I put the bait, and that is where I had to run from. But look at it, doesn't it look incredible? Some nice little, don't trip up. You've got 2 little lily pad patches down there, which is quite pretty, but that almost looks like it wants to rod in between it, doesn't it, that one? So that's an option, but from where I'm fishing it's not an option because it's too close to that aerator and I wouldn't want to do anything silly. I'm trying to avoid fishing the jetty as well for that reason. So yeah, because I don't want the fish kiting and then getting caught on this, because that's just a big no-no and that's not what we do. So yeah, look at it, it's really beautiful little path, although I'm not being very good at the moment, I'm not using it, but I'm like a kid at Christmas walking around this lake. It's just, mate, nice little bit here, that boat down there just in case anything was to happen, meaning you get snagged up or something. But look at it, the wind is absolutely smashing down this end. The wind's blowing a hoolie, and apologies about that. And I think T, I'm going to try to do this, T is going to be fishing sort of there, so he's got that end, all that end of the lake to himself this evening. So, and we know that's good pegs because that's where I normally fish and fished the last few times I come up here. So yeah, there it is. How beautiful is that? Right, I'm going to head back round now, keep locked onto the water, but that's where the rods are, and I had to keep you in the loop, it'd be rude not to, eh? Look at that sun, views for days, peaceful scenery, oh, just everything is just the lake of dreams, baby. Come on the Carp, and come on the Parker baits. It's coffee time, coffee time. I've got these bad boys, pound from Londis, caramel lattes. You don't even need milk with these, but I do like topping them up, just a little bit of milk because it does make a difference, just a little bit in there, and finishing it off with some Garibaldi's. Ooh, the Baldies. Absolutely smashing down here still, and I can't lie to you guys, I've just topped up. I said I'd done 3/4 of the bucket. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give them that last little bit, and I have done now, a little bit of fresh bait. And the only difference is with that last bit of 10 minutes, added in some just generic pellet with it as well, because I know they get fed a lot of pellet in it, to maybe help them pull down on it and feed on it out a little bit more confidently, but not much, nowhere near the amount, sort of maybe 5% of the mix in comparison to what I've put in of the boilie. So primarily boilie, 5% pellet, if that, maybe if that. But yeah, there it is, there's my view. Coffee time, Baldy time, happy days. Couple of carp. Literally just put my head down on the pillow for a couple of seconds, left hand rod, beep, 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 flies out, like that's my left hand rod towards that island over there, so that's a good sign. It almost would say there's definitely fish on the spot, but I've been charging the drone up over it at the moment and it's taking ages. I want to go over there and see if it's blooming feeding on the spot, because at the end there, where it's so shallow, you can almost, well, you can see them, and that's why I've got to rod over there, because this morning when I took it over there was about 4 fish there. So really, I'm going to sit back, eat my Garibaldi, and well, hope for the best. Hey, boom. So I got a nice comment in the sling there, but my first point of call is to get them rods straight back out on the money. So that is what I'm going to do now, all ready to go. I've got to clip a link on in a minute, it's around here somewhere. Stuff everywhere, it's carnage. Here she is, little combi setup, sit something like that on the bottom, quite a long a very, very long hair, to be fair, because they are twitchy in here. They really, really are. The fish are not easy, and they're definitely not crawling up your line, to say the least. But yeah, that sort of does that when you cast it and hit clip and then sit down lovely. So yeah, I need to get this out, so I'm going to hurry up. Away it goes. So I thought I have a early dinner, so I've got some eggs going in there. She's just going to have an egg sandwich, something quick, easy, before tea turns up, so I can give a man later. Fish is sat there in the sling, so I'm going to wait for Dean to get back. She likes looking at him with me, and we'll have a sort of enjoy the moment together and get the fish out. I like to think it's a 20. I mean, I ain't got scales on me. Hopefully Dean has. I left my scales in Hungary, didn't I, Ben? Well done, Ben. Brilliant, yeah. But I have got a mate who's kept them, and funnily enough, he's over there when I'm over there again in March, so he's going to give them back to me then. But until then, I need to buy some more in between, because I can't keep going without, especially over the winter period. I'm going to be going a lot on my own. But there she is in the sling. It's looking mega. Rod's back out on the money, and I'm going to enjoy the egg sandwich in a minute. So I've had this was my flipper. Yeah, didn't go to plan, did it really, Ben? So messy egg roll. I'm going to put that in that plate in a second and enjoy that. I'm not going to record that, guys, but there is my dinner for this evening. Scrambled egg.
Yeah. The only thing is, well, how are you going to say what the weight is?
Well, what do you reckon? It's got to be a 20, isn't it?
Oh yeah, crikey, yeah.
20, 22?
22,
23?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you, Dean. I mean, I'm happy to let it go, but if you want to know the weight on it, I completely understand that. We can wait for you see these two scales that are lighter?
Yeah.
Very, very distinctive, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that is, isn't it?
And here.
Yeah, yeah.
So...
yeah, definitely a low 20, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22, 23.
Because I think the biggest common I've had out of here so far is about £18.
Oh, was it?
I think was the biggest one I've had.
So it's your PB common?
PB common, I think. Yeah, I have to check that through all my pictures, but
yeah, I'd say £22.
Yeah, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
Right, well there it is. That's that common, guys, from earlier. He's behind the camera now, but yeah, what an absolute mega fish. Proper dark as well, and I think I have to check back through my pictures. I think it's the biggest common I've had out of these, but God, what a fish. Scale perfect. It's got these really, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's got these really distinctive, like two lighter scales in the middle and one at the back there. So when it grows on to be a 45 pounder, we definitely know what fish it is. I'll quickly show you the other side. I'm gonna get her back. Get in. Beautiful one, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Solid as well. She's solid.
See that? Yeah.
So there it is. That's the other side. And it's really nice to beat the blank, and another 20 from Dean's. I'm starting to get a little bit of an album now, but hopefully this is the first of many. I thought I'd put a bit of bait out on that spot like I mentioned earlier, and hopefully I can have a few more tonight. Let's get this one back. Happy days. So there it is. I think it'd be rude not to get in the water with this one. Thank you, Mr. Common. And like I said, another 20 from Dean's. Let's get this one back. Happy days. Wow, it's absolutely pitch black now, and T is stuck in traffic. It's like coming up to 8 o'clock now, so it's like absolute nightmare. She's got about an hour left, I think, something like that, and he'll be with us. I'm sure I'll touch base when he is, but I've had a few knocks on my right hand rod on the baited spot, so it's looking good tonight. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. God knows where T is, but this is my view. House over there. Look at that. 3/4 of a moon. Church bells in the background. The wind's finally stopped a little bit, or sort of calmed off. It's flat calm on the lake. There's a little bit of chop right over the back, but you ain't gonna see that. And that's the lights on the lake over the back there. Beautiful. Come on, T. Where are you, mate? Hey, look at what I found on my travels. Mr. 30 over there, look. Setting up 4 hours later. Where were you stuck, mate?
Everywhere and anywhere.
M25 on it was madness.
Oh mate, M25, M3, then I'd go on the sub roads, and even then I still stuck an hour on them as well.
So how long did it take you? 4 hours?
4 hours and like 20 minutes.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Craziness, mate.
Craziness. Now this is T's swim. Obviously he's literally just got, I told you I'd keep you in the loop when he got here. But he's got the island there. I think he's going to put a rod. There's a spot myself, Dean and Pete know, which is that way, around 13 wraps, and there's a few bars, there's a bit of everything. Again, I'm sure we'll touch on the base a lot more tomorrow, exactly what T's doing, because it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches it, because me and T are two very different anglers in our own right, and I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing how he approaches it in the morning. But for tonight, I think he's going to bing them out on the spots that I sort of know to play it safe, have a few hours social tonight, and then yeah, readapt in the morning, or sort of adapt in the morning and see what he needs to do, and then go from there. But for now, I'm going to let him set up. Look at that for a view in the background, and the moon, madness. Right, wow, definitely temperatures dropped. It goes down to about 11 or 12 or something, but yesterday it was 8, so it was actually colder last night, and it's going to be tonight, which is a good sign. Haven't had any liners on the right hand rod, like I said earlier, since sort of few I had, but definitely time for bed. Just gone 12 o'clock, I'm absolutely knackered. I was up early, and yeah, set the alarm for early doors, and I'm sure I'll touch base with you hopefully very soon with a fish. If not, I'll touch base with you somewhere in the morning. Happy days. Well, good morning. It is 20 to 9. I did get up first light for a bit, watched it, didn't really see much. Wind was still trickling down the side, excuse me. And been sat here for the last half an hour or so, and I've seen one, tell a lie, I've seen one fish show, which is where I had the common yesterday, right between the two islands. So with that, I've got my throwing stick, being that it's like, I'm talking a rod length and a half of where I'm fishing, and where I'm fishing is to the left of where the show was. Got my throwing stick, I've got about 20 baits of 80 mils, and just put them straight back on the spots to put a bit of fresh bait, then try and entice a bite, or get them actively going over the area and dropping down, because I don't think it's because I've been cleared out or anything like that. I just think maybe they haven't dropped down on my bit on that particular PVA bag or little mesh bag rig against that island. Being that there's no bait round that, no liners, no nothing, I'd like to think it would be a quick up, bang, screamer, off we go, which was like, again, same sort of scenario, just a baited spot. Gutted if I'm honest with you, because I mean I sat here last night, got a coffee on the go by the way, I'm just going to turn that off. There, boiling my water down there. So about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sort of throughout the night, I had a couple more liners, excuse me, a couple more liners on that right hand rod again, you know, like proactively feeding on the spot. I don't know, and I even said to Dean, I reckon I'm going to have one tonight off that right hand rod, and I haven't. So another fish, I'm going to put a rod, I've literally just seen a fish show a rod lengths behind where I've just mentioned. I'm going to bring that left hand rod in now, because that was further back, and I'm going to punch one over there. It's a no brainer. I'm going to act upon that right away now and do that. Sorry to break the video, but I mean that's 2 shows now in the space of about half an hour, and I've got to act upon it and do something about it. Sorry I'm not the most awake this morning, but obviously being that T got here late last night, we didn't get to bed till like 1, half 1, 2 maybe, something like that. By the time you sit up, you know how it is, and you find your spots. And I think T's still asleep over there, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not surprised. We sat in traffic for 4 hours. I mean, I totally respect that. That's a nightmare. Anyway, I'm going to zip this, pour my coffee in a second. Got one of these sexy bad boys. It's over here. Put one of them in. Get a rod on that spot over there, or I keep seeing them, because that might just be the case of a bite. A little match of the hatch. I'm going to ring it in. If I haven't got a spinner, I'm going to make a spinner now even before I reel it in, because I know that's on a combi rig that's set up. So I'm going to make a spinner now with a match of the hatch on, and I'm going to punch one over there. So that's the plan of action. I'll see you in a bit. Well, rods are looking keen at the moment. Nothing. Like I said, I've put a rod in between the two islands where I keep seeing the fish show, but the wind's still melting down this end. Tee's up now, just had a chat with him. I'm going to go around now, just sit in the middle, and you can see him getting ready up there now. So sit up there, chill for a bit, and hopefully get a bite. We've just been sat here, and all of a sudden I saw a common over here where my finger is come out of the water once, come out of the water twice. Then me and T were like, there it is, looking at it. We got to about here, then an almighty thing about half a rod lengths to the right of that come out. It was an absolute monster. It was like a moped was coming out of the water over there, and it looked really leathery, like really sort of I don't get too excited, but yeah, that's where we're at now in the video. T's frantically reeled his rod in. He's just resetting everything now, and I know he's going to ping one, or ping a single, straight on top of where that magic happened over there then. And it was literally sort of, yeah, just here. This is where I'm at the moment. I'm going to have some breakfast. So I've got this, the full Monty. Looks like sausage, beans, bits of burger in it, mushroom and something, so I'm going to give that a go. I've got some bread around this somewhere. There she is. A little bit of bread with that, maybe a coffee after. Forgot my spoons, forgot my stirrer, and with a view. And all I have done is as well them two right hand rods, guys, since I didn't heat in the loops. I had to act upon it quick. I took the drone up and there's fish sit there feeding just behind the lilies. So I've put two rods about a rod length apart from each other because I wasn't just one fish, there was numerous. So I've literally, that's where I'm at now. It's bubbling away nicely. Breakfast time. Wow, I literally calling T, like T. And in the end, left hand rod screamed off, which was the one that I saw where I saw the fish. And I don't know if it's a similar sort of time to yesterday, but yeah, I've got a little common in the net, but I'm going to quickly get this out, get some video, and then get a rod straight back on the spot, because it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it's a fish and it's action, so happy days. About 12:30 now, nothing ginormous. It's definitely put a smile on my face, but anyway, I know the wind's probably horrendous on that camera now, so I'm going to slip this one back, get the rod back out of the money. And that was on a little pop-up, that was on a match of the hatch, OG fish in a 15mm, so I'm going to put them straight back on. Let's get this one back in the water. Well, that's it, rod's back out. It went slightly more to the right than I would have liked, but it's still within that zone, perfect zone. And I do know Dean obviously feeds from all around the lake, so a lot of it's going to go in quite close. So working off the back of that, because it went to the right, I'm going to leave it there. But we've got these sort of gnarly clouds, got some big black ones over the back there. Wind's still kicking down this end. Obviously I've got the two rods over here and one over here at the moment. Obviously I've pulled off my baited spot, so I'll probably drop back on there tonight, let it rest a little bit, because it's got to be basted out there. So that's where I'm at. Come on. Well, believe it or not, I was just to my right playing about the deeper, finding some bits and just working out a few bits and bobs on the bottom. Left hand rod, beep 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 beep. Took me a little bit longer than I should have to get round. By the time I got round, bobbin was on the deck, reeled into it. It's moved from the island all the way to here, and unfortunately I've lost it. So with that I've brung it back in, checked the hooks, points 100% it was, put a new bait on, match of the hatch, pinged it straight back out there on the spot, and it went out lovely. So coffee time. So nothing really to report, but what I have just done is, I thought, you know what, for that last hour till about 5:30, it's about 4:30, so I thought for an hour I've literally set a timer. I'll put 2 zigs out, the same 2 zigs that I was playing about with yesterday or the day before, but I've literally just cut them down so they're shorter. There's a big chop going across the water, it's quite aggressive, and I don't think they're up quite as high as they have been. Especially on that first day when I actually saw them vortexing on the top to my left. But what I have done is, being out at the same sort of time I turned up, I've chopped that zig down, I've put it on the same spot where I saw them vortexing to my left, and that was a reason for that. And then the right hand rod, I put one sort of near the aerator but not sort of silly close, again on a zig, because I would imagine they would be rubbing against it and sort of doing sort of their bits around that area, and hopefully they're sort of mid-water, so around sort of about 4 foot this one, and before mine was actually higher than that. Literally, that's why I was, something that I do is with zigs, I like always fishing straight up zigs. Yes, you can run adjustables, but I'm not a massive fan. That's just my personal opinion on them. I like to just fish a long zig, make it up quickly, and then start up high, and then as I go through, cut little bits off so I can sort of play about with all the different levels till I find the fish, and then work off the back of that. But yeah, it's worth a try. My middle rod's still on a bottom bait. Again, trying to be clever with that. Saw a fish show earlier. I saw the fish, I didn't see the fish, but it was definitely a carp, and it wasn't a small one. So what I'd done is, little PVA bag, combi rig with the 80mm, the Snowman, clipped it on, no PVA nugget or anything, and it landed straight on top. I couldn't believe my luck, to be honest. It was perfect, and again, that rod's been there ever since, but nothing. So I'm going to leave it to about 5:30 now. I've got some foodie bits coming this evening for you guys. Apologies it hasn't been sort of on the go all day, but it's not one of them lakes. It's far from somewhere like Linear. The fishermen are a lot more switched on, and it's one of them ones you've got to try and be as quiet as possible, as stealthy as possible, and put everything in your armoury and your knowledge to try and get these fish on the bank, because they are not easy fish to catch. So there it is, fingers crossed, and I'm going to hope and pray the next hour. I'll see you in a bit. It's getting to that time now. I'm going to redo my right hand rod, so I'm going to do the two rods on the right hand side, and I'm going to put them directly on this spot. I'm going to go out with this. I'm going to fish a combi setup on one rod like so. I'm fishing quite a long length. It's got to be about at least 12 inches, that is, with the extra bit on the end there. But I do think that helps when it comes to finicky stuff, because you've got that, just everything sits down more uniform. And then just a generic sort of spinner setup, and that's what I've been doing well on up here so far, and that basically sits like that on the bottom, which is a match of the hatch Parker baits, OG fish, and they are, let's say, where you can fish over the top of your 18mm, your 14mm with confidence, knowing that they're going to wash out the same, smell the same, and they've also got the same flecking as our bait a lot of time when into these pop-ups. So yeah, that's that. Again, a 9-inch boom there, something a little bit longer than what I'd normally fish. You know, normally you can fish 5.5s or 7, but here again, being that a little bit more finicky, I'd rather fish something a little bit longer. So that's what I'm going to go home with. Fishing a longer kicker to make sure if a hit clip a little bit too aggressive, it does pull it out. And again, even if you don't hit it hard at all, again, that's still got that property of flicking it out. So there it is, that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be on them 2 rods. And obviously a left hand rod, I have seen a fish over the back there, which I've punched a single on. It come out a common, and I think it was just off the back of the bar. There's like another bar that runs through off the end of the lilies. You can see it clear as day when you're over there. You can also see it clear as day with the drone as well. Now that's running across there, so do I put that rod there, or do I put that rod there tonight? But I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to digest that over the next couple of minutes or whatever, while I get these rods out on the right in the middle, and then go from there. Right, let's get these rods in, and hopefully the magic can happen tonight. So that is the rods out, happy with them, and in the end I opted to put the rod next to the lilies, and I dropped it with a pole and he gave me a hand. But now, food. So I've got this bad boy tonight, I'm going to give a go. Not done one of these before on the channel, it's just going to be different. Chili con carne. This we have seen on the channel before. Uncle Ben's rice. I didn't get the spicy rice one, I got the vegetable one. Something a little bit different. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So some of that, and some bread. I've also got some of that. Can't beat a bit of Frank's, so I'm going to put some of that on, and I'll let you know how it all comes out very soon. Oh, and a nice view as well. Lovely jubbly. That don't look bad, does it really? That don't look bad. I don't know whether T wants some, but there's plenty to go around. He's just up there now having a chat with Dean and his peg. Look here, mate. Them 2 rods as well, by the way, went out absolutely lovely first time. Hit clip just enough. Thud. Both went down with thud, and I've had 2 beeps on my right hand rod already. Whether that's the wind, I don't know, but I'm fishing quite heavy. Back leads and gear, so wouldn't think it is. But yeah, back to that. Cook it properly. Yeah, lovely jubbly. Well, I've just had some, to be fair, out of a tin. That ain't bloomin' bad, and a nice dinner. Something real quick, easy and cheap. Lovely jubbly. Bit of bread now. But yeah, thoroughly recommend that, guys. You know what would go well with that? Some Doritos. I wish I had some of them. But this is going to have to do. I'll see you in a bit. Wow, so after dinner, look at me, I'm absolutely covered. Me and Dean and T were having a nice chat up there, and the heavens open. So now I'm back in my bivvy. It's absolutely peeing it down out there. Look at this, it's absolutely howling in my bivvy at the moment, covering everything. But keeping positive, keeping smiling, and just hopefully I don't mind getting wet for a 40 pounder. Come on. Just gone 2 o'clock, left hand rod. 2 single beeps, which is by the lilies. Come on, Carp, please. Time is ticking. Well, it's pitch black and it's lights out for me. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Well, real time. Just got up, got an early morning wake up call of tea, so I got one if you want to get some footage. It's not very big, but yeah, he's going to show me now, and I'm going to show you guys. Morning. You little fatty, mate. Look at that beautiful fish.
Yeah, that's a little thing.
So what happened then this morning, mate?
Middle rod, mate, tore off.
Lovely jubbly. And OG fish, did you say?
Yeah, OG fish, mate.
OG fish, lovely jubbly. Pop up bottom bait?
This was a wafter, mate, on this
Was
one.
it a wafter? Lovely.
Oh, a wafter, mate.
Yeah, what a banger, mate. What do we say, 13, 14 pounds, something like that? It's got to be in it, mate, but yeah, lovely fish. You imagine when that's 30, 40 pound, that could be lovely. I'll let you get it back then, mate. Fair play. Well done, brother.
Mate. Thank you very much. Cheers, buddy.
It's nice one. It's like a different lake. When it's flat calm and there's no chop on the top whatsoever, just looks crazy. Absolutely crazy. Look at that. Look at that. Maggie time. Right hand rod. Seen some fish over the back to the right of the lily, so I'll punch one over there. Some good ones as well. 4 good fish. So Maggie time, Maggie time. Bosh. There we go. Happy days. Bit of ketchup. A lot of ketchup. Tsunami of ketchup. Whoa, lovely. Breakfast with a view, and a few hours to go now. Coming up to 10 o'clock, I've got to about 12-ish, give or take. Come on. Right, well, the slow pack down begins. I've got the bivvy half done behind me, and I've packed away majority of the stuff, and it's over to my right. I've just had a beep on my left hand rod. Hasn't resulted into anything, no, but I just sort of go over this morning quickly. So after that fish, I come back to my swim, and I saw a fish literally in line with the island, to the left of it, of where I am. I can just see where this fish just clattered out of the water, and it come out again. It come out twice, and T by this point obviously hasn't got his rod out, but then about 2 minutes after that I see him cast, and it was absolutely on the money. Anyway, an hour on from that, I think it was now about 7 o'clock, he's then had a run on that rod, and he's lost it, unfortunately. So T's had 1, lost 1, I've had 2, lost 2. and it's been one of them this session, but I'm glad that I've had a 20 and another 20 and the biggest common I think to date from this particular lake, and I'm absolutely buzzing with that. So I can go away with a smile on my face, I really can, and hopefully, to be honest with you, I may be back next week up here, maybe on the weekend. So if I am, I'm going to be twitching all week, and I know I'm filming up linear as well early week with Lee and Matt Catches, which are two YouTubers, two great YouTubers, and if you haven't seen them guys, go check them out. And I'm looking forward to a session with them beginning of the week, filming up linear. I don't know what lake we're on, but that is the good thing with linear. You can turn up, try and find the fish no matter what lake it is, and with the knowledge you got, try and make it happen, and that's what we try and do up there. I think if you go out there with a lake in mind and you turn up and that swim or that particular lake's rammed, then you get disappointed. So it's better to go out there with an open mind and just hope for the best, and then find the fish, and then fish as close as you can to where them fish are. So that's what we're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, and like I said, potentially up here late week again. Wind's still trickling in this corner, but like I said, the time is ticking. I had egg sandwich earlier, I thought you saw that, and like I said, not really much more to say. That is sort of where I'm up to now in the video. I really do love it up here. I can't push that across enough. I really do. The unknown is a wonderful thing. To not really know what you're going to catch next, and to know that there's two 30-pounders that were put in here. There was a lovely leather put in, and it's a beautiful fish. And that went in at 33, I think, and that hasn't come out in 3 years. So what's that? Late 30. And some of the weights that these fish have been putting on, consider I had a fish 6 months ago at 24.8, and now it's come out at 27. No, sorry, I had it 27.8, and now it's come out at 31.8. So you can put a gauge of, within a very short period of time, what sort of fish are putting in this particular lake. So I dread to think if the big one comes out, it's going to be a mid-40 potentially, and obviously then backup fish that have never come out, and something that gets me rather excited. So there it is. I'm going to leave it at that now. Enjoy the last sort of hour or so, and then I'll touch base before I leave, but hopefully I can nick something before that. Hey, so there it is. I'm done now. The barrow's packed beside me. I've already done a trip to the car. Rods are in, and no more fish. But I'm not going home disappointed. I had a brilliant trip again. It was good catching up with Dean, and good to be back at the Lake of Dreams. But the hunt continues for that 40-pounder in here, or then one of them couple of nice ones in here, and I will be back to get the job done. Don't you worry about that, guys. So stay tuned, smash that subscribe button. So what I would say is, guys, I really do hope you've liked this video, this week's Sunday upload. And like I said, if you want to join my journey, make sure you click on that subscribe button. I know I keep saying it, but I think the stats are over 70% of the people that watch us aren't subscribed. So there it is. That is this week's video. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If you have, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward, and I'll see you same time next Sunday, 7:30. All the best. Peace out.